Hey, Rob, my name is Danny. I'm calling on some commercial space in Milwaukee. I'm interested in talking lease terms if you are open for such a discussion.
Property are you looking at?
This is,
That was a laundromat property. Is that what you're thinking of?
yeah, that's my thing, Rob. I do coin laundries. I wouldn't be interested if it wasn't actually a former or existing laundry. I'm after infrastructure, it's already in place, cards on the table.
Yeah. Mhm.
So if that works and the rent
Yeah.
hasn't
Yeah.
gone sky high because we're, gentrifying and everything else that goes with it, laundromat would still be viable in the area according to what
Sure.
I'm
Sure.
looking at. But
Uh-huh.
that rent has to be commensurate and appropriate for a laundry.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think there's so the building itself is so it's all plumbed for laundry, right? So all the utility hookups. It actually does have quite a bit of equipment still there. Now some of it is I would say none of it is brand new, right? Some of it is older than others, and I would say that there would be most likely you want to have some investment in to
Yeah,
change out at
Rob,
least
let
some
me
of the
let me
oldest
let me stop you.
items. Yep.
I hear where you're going with it. Again, I know that the gas, water, electric is viable and in place. We have checked what comes to the
Mhm.
building, and the equipment is junk. I'm pretty experienced in learning when it comes to these places.
Mhm.
So the reason that they are no longer there is because they did everything wrong. But the number one issue with the number one issue with the laundry is the equipment. That's what people come in for. That's the
Sure.
tactile experience. It not only needs to be operating, but it needs to be clean. And if it's neither, you're going to lose customers, lose money, and lose your lease. And there we are. So I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I,
Yeah.
I know where you're going with that.
No,
This
no,
is a
that's
this is a three
no, that
hundred
it's
thousand
totally
dollar
fine.
retool without breaking a sweat.
Yeah. So so I'm glad to hear you're looking at some investment in this. And what we could do is some of it could stay if you'd want it. Otherwise we can get rid of it. Now the one thing, the building is it's fairly large. It's like almost 4,500 square feet. Some of it is really the property itself, the laundry service itself, and then the previous tenant had some breakout rooms where they were doing like I don't know, tanning service or something. So
Oh,
so it is a little bit of an odd footprint. I know nobody tans anymore either, right? So that's not really ideal. So we do have some flexibility as far as what the either trying to say we're going to hold you accountable for a smaller footprint, or you take the whole space. Obviously some of it isn't going to be so usable, so we do a little bit lower per square foot um rent. Does that make sense?
of course, absolutely. Look, we've been in the
Okay.
spot prior to closing, so I have a pretty good concept. And like you
Okay.
said, the breakout rooms, which only people that are forced to go to real estate conferences would know what that means. At the end of the day, it is a large space. We can use it.
Yeah.
What's your ask? What's your starting rate?
Yeah. So what we are looking at, let me just pull it up here. So I know we were looking at $6 per square foot for the central maintenance, and let me look at what we're looking at for rent. Give me just one sec, please. So I think we were kind of targeting around 4,000 per month for rent. And again, my thought is let's if you're open to something like this, let's kind of talk through the space. We can look at the footprint, and we can do some things to, you know, give you, you know, some free months while you're, you know, while you're starting up too.
Well, I'm not going to move forward without. We're looking at 15 years minimum. Again, this. Let me give you the history of this and every laundromat. They are built by someone who will never make any money. They go in and pay for the gas, water, electric, the environmental impact fees, all of the build out. They don't earn unless they're a landlord with money to burn and they want to hide the cash from their wives. Okay, different scenario. Then the second operator, then they sell it. The second operator comes in and pays a massive premium for that business, and they never make any money. The third or fourth operator, now we've forgotten about all of the costs to build the store. The equipment is getting older, and it's at that perfect age where it's sort of hard to keep running, but it's not just spit and vinegar and it can still make money. So the third or fourth operator might come in and actually earn something, but then the rent starts to go up and they are in trouble. Now we're at, like you said, you're looking at about $1 a square foot all in, which is great, except for the few thousand square feet that we are not using. By the way, my MO, where do we come in? Well, no matter how many users have gone by, and the old adage is that laundromats are 96% foolproof and they run forever. That's not true. Remember those other operators that A, never earned, B, lost their lease. My situation is come into a store, be it operating or not, for sale or no, talking to you, the landlord or their agent, signing a good lease, exquisite, let me be honest, and getting in that 15-year term because I want my equipment to be brand new and retool about every 7 years, if that makes sense. So that
Mhm.
sweet spot,
Mhm.
yes, we're looking for 12 months of abatement on a 15-year term. You're correct about one thing. The elephant in the room is this being a big spot and it's not being utilized for a laundromat. So we are going to
Mhm.
have to look
Mhm.
at it. What I'll do is I'll have my partner Pete come and meet with you. I don't know if you're the one that's going to show us around and get a plan of whether or not it's even viable moving forward so that we can make a reasonable offer.
Yeah, I think that'd be a great way to do it. You know, you can take some measurements, take some photos. It'd be myself and or one of the people on my team who you know, kind of manages the property side, who can show you around. We can, you know, share questions. I can share sales information from the previous, you know, operator. I think that'd be a good way to go.
Yeah. Well, you kind of laughed at
Mhm.
that, but the chortle's a real thing. I don't really concern myself with previous operator when their f- gas bill was $300 the last few months. That doesn't really have anything to do with my $3,000 gas bills because that doesn't concern me. I know that I'm earning when the machines are churning.
Mhm.
Let me do this.
Yeah. So what I would say is, and just, you know, I want to, you know, paint a clear and fair picture. So I would say at at one point they were actually operating and they were profitable. And you know, we saw, you know, the sales information, we can kind of put together the rest to make that claim. There was a fire, and they closed for a bit. It got, you know, it was fixed, it was taken care of. When they opened, they weren't putting forward the effort they needed to run the business, right? So the sales were much lower. It was pretty quiet, weren't driving a lot of traffic. And then the company decided they were going to close all of their laundromats. So not just, you know, the Marquette campus, but you know, all of the ones that they operated. So and so that's kind of the history of it. So obviously it needs, you know, some you know, love and care to be able to do it. And you know, you just can't sit back and expect people kind of, especially in this area where you know, the people are moving in and out quite a bit, being a college campus, to, you know, to just go in and use it.
Everything you said is right. When I have a fire in one of my stores, I don't even shut the doors. I have the customers in there. I put a fan in there to get the smoke out. No need to call the fire department. When I see operators shut down, it's because they are really excited to have an excuse, or they're looking for an insurance check. And that's my experience. Like I said, these you don't go to a laundromat every Sunday. You don't send your wife and kids in there on Sunday. I know that because middle class and above, we just don't frequent these places. It doesn't make it a poor business.
Mhm.
It's the fact that the folks that operate them look down on the consumer. They close off the 110 electric plugs. How dare they plug in their phone and try to charge something?
Mm,
It's not the way to do business. They're stepping over dimes and
not at
dollars
all.
in order to treat the
No.
customer like some kind of low life, and we just don't do that. We do
Mhm.
barbecues in the summer, we do coat drives in the winter, and it is a community. You're not going to see a bobblehead on the wall like Jack at the Jack in the Box. We don't have a founder because no one cares. And the flip side is we've got these uh, conglomerates that have come in recently, and they try to make these big multi-state operations work. It doesn't work that way because it's still a cash business when it's done properly. Now you got me going on and on.
Mm.
uh, I have an email which is okay, good. I will have Peter reach out, and we'll have a little tour, and we'll see if this works for us, and I'll try to beat you up on the rent.
Perfect. Well, let's definitely do that. And we're right on campus, so I can get down there most days, and we can make our schedule work.
Good. Thanks, Rob.
Good. All right. Yep. Thanks for the call. Take care.
I just realized there when I saw his email address. What is this guy? Some kind of educated person. It's some .edu email.
Yeah, this is on
Yeah.
campus property at Marquette.
Oh. So at the end of the day, he doesn't even care what they collect, if they collect. But you're going to have the opportunity to make this thing really big because you're going to be dealing with the campus community. All right. Here's what I'm going to do.
Yep.
I'm going to email him and CC you and tweak the standard email referencing your tour. So at $6 per year, they're going from, to $4,000. That's all in less than $1 a square foot. But the rub is you could hear him saying it. Oh, I don't.
We got wasted space.
Yeah, I know that we have all this wasted space. So you're probably going to be all in at, we'll shoot for like 2,500 a month to start. And we'll start pressing that nerve about bringing the community back and the campus, and the kids need it, all that, because they will use a good laundry that's off campus.
Right. Well, this is, yeah. Right. Right now they're traveling at least 1.5 miles. And this is a densely populated area.
All right. Let's not
So-
start.
That's not good. Yeah. Don't get excited, Danny.
Don't get it. You sound excited. All right. We have one more call to make. And this is over to Milwaukee. I've been leaving this guy massages. Let's see if he's there. Stand by.
Yep.
Danny D'Angelo, call me back on my wireless. That's my direct number. You can call or text me day or night. We're looking to lease some space in Milwaukee. Thank you. 1 out of 2. We've had far too many calls or nobody answers. All right, let me craft a fun email and, no hurry. And I want to say this, uh, when you visit, it doesn't sound like our buddy's going to be there. Oh, one of my team, it'll probably be some
Yeah, one of his
knuckle
people.
dragging maintenance man that lets you in, and that's perfect. If he is in fact there, or someone with a golf shirt and a clipboard, I want you to play a Clint Eastwood character, okay? The man with no name. You're going to go because you've hired me to negotiate, right? It's a weird thing where he's like, yeah, so how many laundromats you got? I'm like, oh, no, that's the worst thing. If no conversation occurs, then you don't need to bullshit this guy. What do I mean?
Right.
Literally, back in my PI days, I'd train new people and I was like, put on a pair of sunglasses. Like, why? That's your invisibility cloak. When you're doing things as a private investigator, you just wear the sunglasses. It'll make you stronger, taller, better. Like, wow, that really helped. I appreciate that. Weeks later, they'll tell me, like, you don't need a badge. You don't need to pretend you're a cop. You just put on some sunglasses and you say, I'm an investigator in the county. I need to talk to you about this and that and the other. And they go, oh, great. It's what you need to do to get things done. So with this guy, bring a clipboard, put your sunglasses on, and just be the building inspector. He starts talking about lease or how many stores you have. You just literally play a character, and that character is not somebody anybody wants to talk to. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's hard. Because,
Yeah,
again, we all know, you get pulled over, you only had a couple of beers, you had anything to drink today? We all know what we're supposed to do. Just shut up and go to jail. And I'm never been arrested. But at the end of the day, it's hard because you're like, I'm a law and order guy. I'm like, yeah, I had a couple beer. Get out of the car. Time to cuff you and stuff you, So when they start to BS with you, play that character and just don't be fearful that you're going to get involved in a conversation about the lease because that's my MO. All that makes sense, I'm sure.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm done with you. Goodbye.
Okay.
Later.
Yep.
Good work. Now on to you louts. Hello, everybody. Damn. 49 of you is on here. Let's get some queries out of the way. Let's talk about what's going down and what isn't. Ask your questions. Thanks for being on the live. This is what we do. We do the real shit here. Pardon me. The first comment's the best one. It's from me. He's selling me. Yeah, so I wrote that comment to myself. This guy gets on the telephone, realtor, educator, father. I don't know what roles he plays in life, but right away he starts selling me. Oh, well, it's going to be a great location and like I don't need to hear that. So at some point you let them run, right? In fishing, I never understood that. Fishing with my dad. Got one on, let him run. Kids just want to reel it in. Get the fish in the boat. Got to tire them out. So let him run a little bit. Let him talk. But I don't want him to go so far that he trips over his tongue. And if you are one of these folks that's seen 1,000 of my YouTube videos and commented on 10 of them and said, man, I can't believe how you did that, whatever that thing is, I appreciate that. I don't think in many cases, even I know exactly why I say some of the things that I do, but many times I do. It's that technique. Don't let them go too far. Once somebody lies to you, it becomes a really sticky widget, a precarious scenario. So don't let them start telling you how it's the perfect laundry location, for instance. Nah, it's not. Or when he said that they had a fire and that's why it all went downhill. Nah, it's not. Trust me, I know. Without getting into numbers of how many stores I had or how much money they made, you come across as a professional. Not in lease negotiating, not in real estate, but laundromats.
Unknown caller.
Oh, it's a spam risk. You want to have some fun? Hello? Hello? Oh, they gave up. In all the years I've been doing this, I've never been able to catch a really good spammer incoming call. That would be fun. String them along. Let's hear about the spam calls. Good evening, Danny and chat. Everyone's talking amongst themselves. Hello, Wade. Hi, John. Greetings, shipmate, says Bob. On my second round of your silly course, tons of great information. Bev is cute too. Well, yes, that is true. We had a few gals that interviewed for the sounding board for the silly course back in the day, and Beverly had more questions than anyone, so that was the real reason why she was hired. How would he know they were profitable, right? Wade, was he going to the bank for the deposits, looking through the books? You know, I have seen and heard of both where landlords get to see the profit statements for their tenants. It's not a deal I would ever get involved in, ever, but it does go on. Mr. Ramirez says, good day. Hi. Now John's saying hello to Luis. Danny, stand up and show him the rest of that t-shirt. It's not what you think it is. Any clients in the Green Bay, Wisconsin area? Mark, why do you ask? Why do you ask if there are any clients in Green Bay, Wisconsin? Why do you ask? Bob, greetings, you louts. Correct. Laundromat on college campus could potentially be gold. True. Noah. Hi, my name is Dustin. Dustin knows the deal. You're supposed to tell me your name. If your silly YouTube handle is Chasing the Dragon, then let us know who you are. Yeah, there are at least 10 down, run down mats in Milwaukee, but the crime rate is so bad, very dangerous. Let's talk about that, Dustin. You, as an operator, I can tell you from personal experience, will never, ever be out of your house or anywhere near your laundromats after dark. Let me say that again. You're not in any danger. Whatever goes on in that store, you pussy, it has nothing to do with you. Don't jump onto my channel and start pulling. And I don't think you're being adversarial, but you're wrong. If I own a liquor store, does that mean I'm a drunk? If I own a vape shop, does that mean that I'm high? If you own a laundromat, does that mean you're stupid? That you're in the store at all hours? Only if you don't know how to set it up. We are not afraid to run the stores properly. Thank you, Dustin. Steve, typically, how well do campus laundromats do in the summertime? Revenue must drop. The kids that are coming in from the college, that has very little to do with your laundry success. But your contract attendant is going to crush. They're the ones that are going to benefit from the students, and you're going to benefit with a free employee. Long story, right? Haven't seen the course, have you? Max says hello. Where's the Snoopy shirt? I don't know. Any clients? So Mark is asking the same question again. And let me skip down. He says, I'm about to purchase your course and want to know if run something close to home, ideally. Okay, this is why I baited you, Mark. The moment that you get out and look at every laundromat in Green Bay, you'll say, holy cow, these places are fucked up. And that's exactly what we want. So as far as me having clients, I'm not a 2 million follower guy on YouTube for a reason. I'm here for you, Mark, and your ilk. I'm not doing clickbait videos to try to get people interested in laundromats. No. I'm making videos for the people that are interested in laundromats and want to do it the right way. That is my passion. Someone said months ago, my heart. I don't know that I have one. I'm more like the Grinch. But my passion is to make sure you don't get screwed the way these new operators do. And that's why my silly course exists, because I don't want to see people end up like the discussion here with Rob, the part-time realtor, about all these folks that get destroyed by ownership. It's a great business, but you have to know what you're doing. So, great. Grab the silly course, then get out and scout. If you've already looked, you'd say it doesn't, Danny's clientele doesn't matter. Maybe someday it will, but now, not anywhere on the planet are there just so many free laundromat people creeping around that you can't find a store. Mac, hello, Snoopy shirt, things and stuff. Lala, Chuck, yeah. Somebody just trying to get me to say something silly. Hello from Hong Kong. Okay. Hi. About to purchase your course. Yes, we said that. Wade, running the store properly is exactly right. A lot of them don't. That's our edge. Yes, it is. Jose, I'm having such a hard time getting these real estate guys to speak with me about the space that is not empty. When I mentioned the laundromat, they only want to lease the space that is empty. Jose, you're doing it wrong. You're listening to me make calls and then thinking that it's easy, simple, or that you're capable of it. Maybe you are. Send me an email. I want to hear more about these difficulties that you're having. Definitely correct. Never would be in my store after 10 p.m. You'll never be in there after dark ever, not 10 p.m. I've been held at gunpoint twice in Milwaukee. Well, you're silly. You should never be in a position, unless it's your vocation, unless you're a cop, you should never be in a spot where you're in some dark alley. That's not smart. Not sorry. Bob, I'd like to see SEE a bit more on how to hire a contract attendant. Does and don't. I think he means do's and don'ts. Bob, it's the easiest thing in the world. And if you're consulting with me, we will talk about how it works. And that's the second time here where I sort of sounded salesy. None of this is a sales call. None of it. If you want more info, you can come here and ask the question. But finding contract attendants is simple. Sorry about that. It really is. I watched Danny to learn about business techniques and absolutely love the content. Thank you. That means a lot. It really does. Definitely saves me from getting screwed, says Luke. Guys, I want everybody on here to make a little comment, and we're going to do that for the people that are new to the channel. And we're going to tell some dad jokes, not here in the top chat, in the video. I've got tons of calls to make today for folks like you. We might even go live again. Been yelled at a few times, left a ton of messages. Go over to the video comment section, not in the top chat, and tell me a dad joke. We will be following up with Pete, and we'll see how this one goes. Ciao.